Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Backstage Esports. And today, the star of today's episode is Docs. Welcome to our show, Docs. Pleasure to have you here. So I'll let.
Good to meet you.
So it's the spotlight is all yours. Introduction is in your hands.
All right. My name is Daniel, aka people know me as Docs, and I was a FIFA coach for PSG for 2 years. Also a successful FIFA coach for Team Rad in Egypt. Guinness record holder. I've done different stuff in esports, won crazy tournaments, LG Africa won, PD First champion, and so on and so forth. So that's it. Also, kind of going into content creation.
Quite
That's
the
just
list.
basically everything.
Quite the list of accomplishments. Bragging rights. You have the right to brag. So, I know every gamer has an origin story, like your first ever gaming experience. Can you tell us about that part?
Yes, my first ever gaming experience was when I was when I was in Nigeria, right? I went out for a tournament, and of course I lost. As a matter of fact, I didn't get any place far,
Mhm.
but it was a wonderful experience. I could feel the presence of being a star in future because people were watching. I was on the stage, but then I failed, and it made me go back. But then I wasn't known as Dogs. I was
Mhm.
called Oz, like O and Z.
How was it?
So that's the first experience, and that was in Nigeria.
So I think it's like because you lost, it gave you an incentive for the future improvement.
Yes. And from there, I went on playing FIFA. I went to different states to compete, Abuja, Calabar, which I failed.
Mhm.
But then I kept on trying. Then I had one big tournament by LG. It was in Nigeria, and I won that tournament.
Mhm.
And then there's another one again, a big one in Lagos. I was the winner of Lagos.
Mhm.
And from there, I went on. I kept on trying, and I felt like I needed something bigger. This was
Mhm.
too small. I needed more challenge, and then I moved down to South Africa in 2020.
Very interesting.
And
Mhm.
yes, I was how I got here.
It's like a stage thing. Like you started off, you've had a bumpy ride at the start, and because of those, it gave you the push you need to improve until you are where you are now.
Yes, and when I got to South Africa, I started to think that okay, this is another country. I need a plan,
Mhm.
right? And I felt like okay, fine. I needed people to know like I love gaming. I was good at FIFA. I'm like, okay, what do I do?
Mhm.
And I said, okay, let me break the world record. Like, let me just break the world record and see how people can find me. And then I had a manager. We tried doing different things, took it to the media and every other thing. So when I broke the world record, I got contacted a few weeks later by PSG. After that, from PSG's platform, I got a contract from Team Rad because that's how they met me.
Mhm.
And then I became an ambassador for 1080 Esports, which he got a notification from Google saying a Nigerian is about to break a world record and he wanted to do esports in Nigeria. So he came to me.
Mhm.
And from there, I got other deals by people who met me through the world record. And also, yeah, that was able to move on and succeed.
Amazing. That's quite the list of events. So here's something that piqued my curiosity. Of all the games in the esports world, why FIFA?
Very good question. The thing is, I wanted to play football when I was young. I didn't want to go to school.
Mhm.
So my parents are like, okay, you go to school and then you still play a football. I was in secondary school. I went to university, and then when I went to the university, I didn't like that university. I feel so I changed my. I was studying banking and finance, and then I switched to political science in another university. Then I was still playing football, but then I felt this was going to be too hard for me to achieve.
Mhm.
But okay, you know what? I used to play games. I was always winning people, and I could play games for like 2, 3 days non-stop. Like, and I sat there, I said, no, there should be something in this game that will take me to the next level. So I went on the internet. I had to search about gaming, FIFA in particular. I literally clicked tournaments in FIFA.
Mhm.
And then the first thing I saw was tournaments on the PS3. And the
Mhm.
first person I saw was August Rosmaya. And that was the first time I opened my Instagram in 2016. And the first person I followed was August Rosmaya, who is from Denmark.
Mhm.
And from there, I started building up the career. That's where the education comes in, whereby me educating myself, making research on how this whole thing works. That's how I started.
But nobody has. You see, this is the trick. I mean, you have proven that you are able to knowledge seek the information, but some people don't have this ability. Like some people don't know how to seek this information. So how do they overcome this thing?
Yes, the thing is this. Everyone, for example, I'm good at teaching. Some people are not good at teaching. They can do it, but to teach you is a problem. So people don't know how to make research, right? They prefer, I'll give an example. People like to read on books, why people prefer to read those books in terms of audio. So we are different. So people who don't know how to do this need to look for coaches like me, give them steps, what to do, how to start.
Mhm.
They are good, but they don't know how to start. People don't know how to start, but they know how to finish. Some people know how to start, but don't know how to finish. Some can start and finish. Like I started and I know how to finish. So I can teach people who can start, who can't finish, who can who can't start but can finish. So they need to meet people who are coaching and take them through.
So there is no such thing as they can't. The only difference is it requires a little bit more effort than someone who is natural at it.
Exactly.
Out of curiosity, of if you had the choice to change from in terms of video games from FIFA to another game, what would it be?
I'll go for Apex Legend, no doubt. It's Apex for me.
Apex.
It's
Why?
Apex. You see, when it comes to, I love FIFA because it is tactical,
Mhm,
right? It has a lot of skill in it. When it comes to Apex, Apex is, it has to do with teamwork. Apex, I love something that has to do with teamwork, thinking. Apex is just that game.
mhm.
Tactics, teamwork. You need to think, strategy. I love the game so much. I can tell you everything about Apex Legends from season 0 till now. I've been playing that game.
Personally, I remember when I was playing Apex, there was this character who does this skill called Bamboozle. For some odd reason, this is my favorite character. I always pick it because for some reason, when you're playing in a casual lobby and you just run casually and just you press Bamboozle, and for some reason everybody starts shooting at your illusion. I was like, what is happening? It's and the
Ah,
character
people,
and the character's sarcasm, the tone of his voice, his attitude, the way he talks. It's it's
yes,
it's amazing. He's like he's provoking people and he's overconfident.
exactly. That's just how it is. I love the strategy. I love everything about the game because, as a matter of fact, I feel like when my son grows up, I'm like, you know what?
Mhm.
I want you to play Apex.
Yeah.
I don't want you to go into FIFA. I want you to play Apex. I love the game so much. I
Mhm.
love that game. But FIFA, when it comes to being serious, I'll take FIFA, right? Because FIFA is a game you need full focus. FIFA, you can't really have much fun while playing FIFA. You need full focus.
Mhm.
You can't blink an eye. You understand? You blink
Mhm.
an eye, they take the ball away from you. You blink an eye, they could score. But FIFA, Apex, you can still take a chill,
Mhm.
still speak to teammates and all while you play. So it's really a fun game for me.
You have a breathing room, and in FIFA, like you said, you can't even sneeze. If you sneeze, you're in trouble.
Exactly. So it's a mental, it's a mental game.
Mhm.
Really mental.
Here's something. In terms of esports, how do you feel your ambition in the industry? What do you see yourself in the future?
Well, I see myself in the future as one, a billionaire in gaming because there are so many things. I say gaming is like my calling. So
Mhm.
there are projects I have to run. For example, this inter-school tournament, if you check out my Instagram,
Mhm.
I've met over 2,000 students. They're all on my Instagram. I've spoken to some of their parents. From there, I intend to create a gaming hub right here in South Africa whereby I can teach them, train them, of course, for a paid fee.
Mhm.
People can also come and play, those who can afford a PS5.
Mhm.
And then there's something else I want to create for gamers, console gamers, which I
Yeah.
won't disclose right now.
Mhm.
I intend to do that with either Sony or Xbox, whoever are interested, although I know they will highly be interested. From there, I intend to, retire and then, become a consultant in esports or, focus on my family. But then at the end of the day, I feel like I will be one of the great pioneers in esports, basically in Africa, majorly in Africa.
Well, your actions are actually proving that because you've accomplished remarkable things, especially this thing that, that grabbed my attention. holding the most record hour while playing a football video game. Honestly, what is the
Yes, I
secret to
played
that?
the stuff, which was FIFA.
But you streamed it for such a long time. Like, what was it? 52 hours, was it? Or am I? Think it was less.
No, 52 or 58 hours.
Oh, how on earth did you do it? What's the secret to it?
Um, you see, one thing about I'll give an example. When you see a lion, okay, for example, I say, okay, let's run, right? And then your speed might not be that much, but when you see a lion chasing you, your speed might be like three times
Mhm,
of that. So what do I mean? Is the zeal, the passion, the
mhm,
goal was there. So I was inspired by so many things. I was determined. You understand? Because when I came into South Africa, I knew nobody. I came because I was determined. I'm like, even if I was going to sleep on the street, let me sleep on the street. But I know this thing, I'll achieve it. So that zeal goal was what brought me to do it. I'm like, I will do it. And we have over 5,000 views on Twitch. It got taken up by Jinx TV, you know, and so many media houses took it. So I was very determined to do it. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to break another record playing games under WhatsApp. I'm like, okay, I'll do that not now, maybe later.
Interesting. Very interesting. How do you see the scene in Africa, the esports scene? Are people accepting esports in South Africa? Are they? It's still a new concept, or how do you see esports in South Africa currently, in its current state?
Well, people are really the esport in South Africa is at a 50% level because we have esport clubs who are playing in the FIFA E Series, who have qualified for big tournaments, E Champions League, the E Nations Cup right now. I mean, South Africa qualified for the playoffs for the first time since 2018 with the same team they had. So it's really big right now
Mhm,
in South Africa. But the problem is, it's more of a particular side. Like they're not extending it to other communities, which is what I'm trying to tap into.
mhm.
The other communities that I'm trying to tap into so they can see it. And then I think,
So there's a lot of potential. So it's little by little, step by step, before the entire community accepts this whole change of esports.
yes,
It's almost the same thing I could say in the MENA region, because as you know, the MENA region is also slowly but steadily changing its way of thinking. So before, esports used to be seen as an entertainment. I mean, it was just a pastime, nothing too serious. But now, because of all the investments, all the teams and clubs, and all the uh, projects that are being made around esports in the MENA region, it's becoming a completely different bubble. So we're looking at things like we used to look at, let's say, Asia being a continent of esports in its own, and then you got Europe, you got North America, and now you got the MENA, and in the future, of course, South Africa will also be able to compete in such a scale in esports. So it's all about how the community and the society is willing to accept esports.
yes, exactly.
And of course,
And the only thing
and sorry, and of course,
Africa beats
important figures like yourselves.
can you hear me?
Yes, sorry. I was saying, like, also the impact of esports is because of influential figures such as yourselves.
Yes, because when I went to these schools, they were able to accept because of my record. Because I mean, when I go to a school, tell them who I am, they make their research, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is good,
Mhm.
right? And okay, you can put this on our kids, and then they sent out letters to their parents saying they want to hold this tournament, and most parents agreed.
It takes time, but eventually things will look for the best. Out of
Yes.
curiosity, if you were given a choice, which one do you prefer, being a pro player or a coach, and why?
Well,
It's tricky.
in the arena, being a professional player is really costly because of the equipment.
Mhm.
So I'll go for the coaching side of things because I can show my talent. But I mean, I was still speaking with a friend today. I told him, I said, when I've achieved everything I want to achieve in coaching,
Mhm.
even at the age of 35, I'll go back into competing in FIFA because I love competing.
So, if out of curiosity, if you're, let's say, a coach, what is the most unfavorable quality in a player that you find distasteful?
Well, if first of all, if a player doesn't listen, I don't think I'll ever succeed in coaching because I mean, I've coached over, I can say I've coached over 1,000 people from the PhD platform, from Medify in the UK. I've coached plenty. So most of them feel like they know it, but they don't. We have stubborn players.
Mhm.
So when a player doesn't accept he doesn't know this, then it's a problem for me.
So it's the ego thing. So if you're dealing with this ego thing of, I mean, most of them, like usually the young player, the kids, and of course naturally kids assume they know it all in video games. So is there a technique to overcome this, or is it too
Oh yes,
difficult to handle it?
yes, it's always very easy to overcome. What I just do is this. I tell them, okay, you feel you know everything. I say, okay, fine. Let me get somebody else who is your age. Play with him. Right. And I'm going to coach that person. And then I send them, their PSN ID, they play together. And then the person I'm bringing will beat that one like they'll play best of three.
Mhm.
And the person I'm bringing will beat him up like three times in a row,
Yeah.
heavily. And then I told them, you see, you're not good. If you continue like this, you continue to fail. So if you want to be successful, you need to listen to me. And then they begin to listen step by step. They make another mistake, I bring somebody else. Right. They still get flogged. So when they keep beating them, they get demoralized and bringing down their ego. And then they begin to listen.
It's a long process, but not impossible.
Yes, it's very long but not impossible. But I'm also able to take them because they pay for it. I charge as much as if somebody wants personal training, I can tell you that I've charged somebody as much as 4,000 till he gets it right
Oof.
for 2 months, $1,000.
Yeah, but it's
He's 35 years
it's a money well
old. He wants
spent.
to-
It's basically like money well spent because they're gaining something that will help them in their future, not just in esports, but in their building their personality.
Yes, and I let them understand that because most of them are always like, oh, let me go check YouTube on this, let me go check YouTube on this. I tell them two things. First of all, the person you're watching is posting something because he also wants to make money from views.
Hmm.
Second of all, even if he's right, he cannot share you the secret of every success.
Mhm.
If he does that, he's going to fail because he
Mhm.
can't tell you what he uses. So no one will ever tell you their secret of their success. If you go to my Instagram or Switch or whatever, you can never see me talk about what I do at a particular stage. You can never see me tell people how to conquer this. No, these informations are not free.
Mhm.
These are for my personal students. You understand? So I don't put out those secret informations out there.
Reminds me of those books that said how to make $1 million, like those philosophical ideologies. It sounds
Yes,
bizarre.
those how to make a class could just give you basic steps, but they can't tell you everything.
Was being part of esports affected your day-to-day life and like your routine?
Yes, it has.
Uh,
It really has.
in a positive way, in sometimes in a negative, has it impacted certain things? Like what did it change?
Yes, positive and negative. The positive side is I became too smart. I I could think too much. You know, like I was very quick and fast. My brain thinks fast. You understand? Before you say something, I could know what you're already saying. You understand? Because gaming makes you think very fast, even before any other thing. So
Mhm.
that it was very good. I think very fast, think on my feet, handle pressure, in every way. But now when it comes to the real life aspect in terms of family parts not affected, but doing what a man should do in terms of loving the woman, taking her out and stuff. Gamers like sitting inside alone, like just sit inside and keep playing games. So the outside life, it has affected me a lot. Like going outside. Like I don't think I have a social life, which is I think is bad. Not good.
It's an introvert thing, I guess.
Exactly.
But it's not impossible because if you look at, I mean, a lot of events in esports will end up meeting people such as, for instance, this is one of the example. We're both into esports and we're both gamers. So, uh, because of social media and gaming, we ended up meeting and doing this amazing interview. So it's indirect impact. So we end up meeting people with similar interests. We end up, sometimes finding our best friends. Funny part is a lot of people ends up meeting their partners because of video games. So you know it's it's
Of
uh,
course.
it's a limitless situation. So it might pan out
I
differently.
met her through video games, like through a fan,
Mhm.
right? She's not a gamer, but then a fan messaged me on Instagram saying that he wants to go into gaming, needed advice. I said, first of all, if you want to go into gaming, you need to keep women aside. And if you have a woman, make sure she's supportive because it's hard. You will need someone to, to motivate you, to do everything for you.
Mhm.
And then jokingly, I said, personally, I don't have a girlfriend because I'm so much focused on this. And oh, if you find one, just let me know. Jokingly. And 2 days later, I'm like, oh, I found someone. I'm like, serious. I'm like, okay, get me a number. And then he sent me a picture. I'm like, okay, this is someone really nice. She was in Nigeria, and then we spoke for some time, and I really fell in love with her. I'm like, okay, you know what? I like you. I don't play around, and I want you to come over. And then she agreed, and then I brought her over, and my child is 9 months now.
Wow. See, it's remarkable how things just click instantly.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
so I think we should wrap up this remarkable interview. But before we do that, do you have any words of wisdom to our viewers out there?
Well, I just want to say if you're into gaming, and you don't know how to start, one of the reasons why I'm a coach is not just to coach FIFA. Anyone can send me a message. I'll give them steps for free, right? Tell you what to do and know what to do and how to go about it in any way, be it parental problems or relationship problems and how to mix that with your gaming. Yes, it's possible. It's very well possible. You just need the right steps to take. Very well possible. The
Absolutely,
right steps you do.
100% right. And if you want to tell the audience where to follow you on social media, if they have any questions.
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Dr. underscore. It's link is in the bio on my LinkedIn. So Instagram Dr. underscore, Twitter Dr. underscore, LinkedIn, so it's the same thing. Twitch, the same thing. Almost YouTube, it's the same. So you can just send me a DM.
Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you and having this remarkable conversation, Daniel. And of course, all the best in the future.
Yes, thank you.
So do take care and have a nice day. And to our audience, I hope you found this interview enjoyable. Take care and goodbye.